Hi, I hope you're well. So it's the 29th of December and I just want to say first of all that this video could cut out at any minute because I was just filming a little house tour. I'm visiting my grandma and she can't make it to the house. So I thought I would bring the tour to her and just film myself walking around. And my phone just died completely randomly for no reason whatsoever because it was overheating even though I was inside and it wasn't even that hot. So anyway, hopefully this video doesn't cut out. So this morning I woke up at 6 o'clock as planned, finally feeling back into the routine of waking up when I actually plan to wake up, and it's so much easier to, like, once you're consistent, to just then keep doing it. I think that's why, like, that initial momentum is really hard to get, and once you've been in the habit before, it's a bit easier. And I feel like now when I do it, like, it only takes me a couple of days to get back into it, whereas when I was first creating the habit it took me way longer. So yeah, I woke up, went to the gym, did my workout, and then I came home, did self-coaching scholars, did meditation. Basically, these vlogs could get quite repetitive because my mornings are basically always the same, but I had planned to write 3 blog posts today. 2 blog posts for my own blog and another blog post for advice from a 20-something. So I did the same thing yesterday because I need to have 4 blog posts for me and 2 for advice from a 20-something, which is another blog that I write for. So I had all my time scheduled out, 2 hours for each of mine and 1 hour for the advice from a 20-something post, just because Amanda likes shorter posts. I like having like 2,000 words. And I finished them early again, like really early. I still am blowing my own mind with how quickly I can actually write something, especially it's easier when it's topics that I talk about quite a lot, and I've spoken about them in the vlogs and the podcasts, and I've just like know how to articulate what I'm trying to say. Though sometimes it still makes no sense, but anyway. I wrote my first blog post, which I think took an hour 45, so 15 minutes less, which still would have never happened before, like didn't used to ever happen, so that was a win. Then I wrote my second blog post about study tips for people who procrastinate, and it only took me an hour 5 minutes, and I was like, what the like, I just can't believe it. So then I had all of this extra time, and I was like, and then I wrote, this is what blew my mind. I wrote the post for advice from a 20-something, and it took 25 minutes. Can't believe it. I just got in there, knew what I wanted to say, said it. So that was that, and I had finished all of that at 1:30 when I'd planned to finish at 3, which was so nice. So also in between writing the 2 blog posts, I like to have a half-hour break, just so, you know, when I'm writing the first one, I know, like, okay, I've got a little bit of mental downtime between the 2. And I read some of Tribe of Mentors by Tim Ferriss. Yes, I might finally stop talking about Tools of Titans because he has a new book. So I just sat outside, read it for maybe like 20 minutes, made myself the most delicious smoothie, just frozen raspberry, frozen mango, and frozen banana, like heaven. Made that in the NutriBullet, and then so I finished everything at 1:30. So I pulled forward, I'm writing some quotes for Instagram tomorrow in my plan. So that was the last thing I've got planned for tomorrow, and I pulled that forward to just do it until 2 o'clock. And it's so funny because I'd given myself, I think, 2 hours to write 20 different quotes, because I find that I can really get stuck on these quotes and I just get too analytical and then overthink it too much and it just makes no sense, and I feel like they're way better kept simple anyway, but you're like trying to be profound while trying to actually not be profound, trying to make sense, trying to have something important to say. Mentally I'm still like getting myself there, but anyway, I give myself 2 hours tomorrow to do it, and in 20 minutes I'd written 8 of them. I was like, oh. I feel like now that I'm getting a lot, like I'm scheduling my time so creation is separate from judgment. Like I had planned to write 20 quotes because I only need 14 in a month if I want to post one every second day. So that means I can write 6 shit ones, and just have to, like, you know, it just takes the pressure off to over create. I don't know, instead of like creating the bare minimum and then feeling like it needs to be a certain standard. So that was really good. And then I thought I would film a house tour for my grandma, which took about 10 minutes of me just walking around explaining how things look, what the situation is. And then I had lunch, and now I'm on the way to visit my grandma, which I didn't think I would have time to do today. But I have spare time. Like, it's just, I've never had all this like spare time of getting things finished early. Also, it just felt so good. So my posts for advice from a 20-something aren't due until the 2nd or 3rd of January. Just to like send the email today and be like, here are my posts. It just feels so good. After a university career of procrastination and like needing a deadline, to actually be like, I just planned when to do it. And because normally, like before, I have managed my mind around all of this, I'd only be able to work with a deadline because I would just be so hard on myself that nothing was ever good enough unless there was a deadline, which forced me to say like, okay, that's it. And also having the deadline, like procrastinating was just a way so that I could have an excuse with myself. If I didn't appear smart, it's like, well, you know, I wasn't really trying anyway, guys. Like, you know, imagine how good I'd be if I tried instead of actually just trying. So to have actually just planned to write 2 blog posts, to have written 2 blog posts way quicker than I had anticipated, which was still like the time I anticipated was still ambitious for what I used to do. And then to just have them done and be like, I'm just going to send them right now, and just send them. It's the best feeling. So yeah, I've just had a really great day. Another really great day of just following through with my plans. So also, I just want to mention that I feel like I'm in the honeymoon phase of my planning, in the sense that I'm still in that period of time where I'm pretty much still feeling motivated. So it's easier, but it shouldn't really make a difference as time goes on, because all I need to do is follow the plan. Sometimes I'll feel like it, most times I won't. So I really just need to manage my mind around it and just remind myself in a few days, because this is only like the 3rd day of me following my plans that I did for the first 3 months of the year, even though it's not yet the new year. A couple days to go. And yeah, I just feel like it's really easy to expect that I will continue to feel this motivated. And particularly as well, I think when you're at the beginning of working towards a goal, so if you have, you know, a new diet, a new exercise routine, whatever, you're so optimistic that like there's no real evidence except anything that you take from your past about whether or not you can do it. But I know, and because I set my huge goal, which I don't believe is possible, that I'm really going to need to manage my mind, because as I go through my plan, I will start potentially to not get the results I thought I would. And at that stage, it always feels easier to just give up than to continue in the face of no results or failure. So yeah, I'm excited to actually figure that out, because I have been haven't been great with that before. I'm like super optimistic and motivated and disciplined, but then once I get to the point where it's like, oh, this obviously isn't going to happen, I do the all or nothing thing and pull out, so that, you know, I don't have to have a true failure because I failed because I've stopped trying, instead of failed because I didn't do it good enough. So I'm just really excited to evolve past that. I know it's not going to be pretty and my brain's gonna kick up a stink, but that's fine. That's what this whole goal thing is all about. So I think I'm going to leave it there for now, but I hope you're well. And yeah, this video lasted it didn't cut out, which is awesome. So anyway, I'll see you tomorrow.